Hello and welcome to Family Times. If you don't already know, Family Times is dedicated to the family, how to make it stronger.
And in that spirit, we've got a bunch of things in this edition of Family Times that we hope might help. Everything from how your family can change a community to how to make family reading time really memorable.
Yes. And then there's this case of the Andlin family of Richmond, Virginia. Now, if you thought your house was like a zoo sometimes, you haven't seen anything until you've been to the Andlins. 350 animals, 8 of the human variety. Yes, the Andlin homestead in Richmond, Virginia can seem like a zoo sometimes. Because it is. It is also the dream of Jim Andlin.
And I've always enjoyed and liked to be around animals and wanted to have my kids be around animals. It teaches a lot about life and have them learn responsibility.
Like most things of real value, this family zoo is the result of years of hard work, patience, and some real sacrifice. Let's go back 10 years to another place not far from here. Jim and Sherry are young parents who enjoy animals and are anxious for something to help teach their children responsibility. Jim picks up an emu and a deer or two to run around their big backyard. 1 by 1, 2 by 2, more and more animals. Monkeys, ostriches, exotic birds, they all find a place at Andlin Acres. Now some cages need to be built, animals need special care, the community takes notice, and with no zoo in the Richmond area, school groups want tours, and the Andlins want more animals.
Come here, Dad. Come here.
So 4 years ago, the Andlins decided it was time to pack up and move the family zoo to a bigger space that's easier for the public to get to. And do they ever get here? From all over the Virginia countryside. And because of growing popularity, the Andlin Family Zoo is officially designated the Richmond Metro Zoo.
Do you take care of her?
There's a good feeling here in this animal kingdom carved out of thick Virginia woods. A high priority is put on creating a wide-open, natural environment. I mean, how many zoos do you know where animals act like they really enjoy being there?
You know, a lot of people have commented they've gone to zoos and animals are just laying out and not doing anything. And by giving them large areas, more naturalistic exhibits, the animals, you know, stay active all the time. These animals, they're happy.
If this were any other zoo, you'd have a staff of professionals and maintenance people. Well, meet the crew. Josh, Aaron, Jana, Justin, Megan, and Melissa, plus a few cousins. Everyone does their part to make the zoo run. Jana works the gift shop. Josh, Aaron, and Justin feed the animals and then clean up after them every day.
I get up at usually around 5:30. Wow. Well, 5:20. We have to leave our house by 5:50.
Even little Megan does her part. She's been trained to climb the fence to feed the deer because leaving a gate open would be, well, a problem.
The one thing that's good for our kids is not only do they have to have chores, they have to do so many things that there's no handbook written on how to do it. So they really develop self-confidence because they learn how to do things just by using their brains and thinking, well, how can I best solve this problem?
Do your kids have to do a lot of learning about the animals so they can give the presentations and things, or do you do that mostly? Or?
Actually, we have a couple different things that we do here at the zoo. We have birthday parties, and then when we have a group, sometimes with the birthday party, we'll give a tour, and 3 of my children know enough about the animals that they can give those tours.
Most of these animals have been raised by the Andlins. Every creature has a name, and individual identity is not lost in numbers.
Okay, this is Little Red here has the band, and then we have Donder and Blitzen and Melvin and E.T., Hardy and J.J.
For zoo visitors, this can be a hands-on experience.
He'd just like to give you a big hug. He doesn't like the idea.
And in case you're wondering, there's a big difference between riding a horse and riding your average camel.
Just like that.
Oh my gosh, I feel like a Swiss Family Robinson kind of gal.
While learning to care for and respect these peculiar members of God's creation has been good for the Andlin children, it's not the only benefit. In many ways, the zoo is a glue.
That's probably what's so enjoyable for me is to be able to work and then be around my kids. I mean, you know, every day when they get home from school, they come out and we're working. On Saturdays we're working, but we're always together, and so that yeah, it gives us a lot of time to talk and one-on-one, and you know, it's I can't think of anything better.
It should be understood that it hasn't all been painless. As you can imagine, you can't just take a vacation day anytime you want when there are so many mouths to feed. The children aren't able to participate in everything other kids with fewer responsibilities can, and at times it's been hard on Jim and Sherry's relationship.
I think the person that's had the hardest time adjusting to him being so busy is me, not the kids, because the kids are out here with him. For dads and kids, it's really good, but I'm the one who feels left out sometimes.
Yeah.
But we've made it it's just a habit. Every Friday night is our date night, and occasionally, you know, we'll have a conflict, but pretty much we stick to that. You know, it doesn't matter how tired we are, and sometimes we're half asleep sitting through dinner, but,
Yeah.
but we go out.
It's also a constant stress financially. The zoo doesn't receive government support and gets few donations. Buying new animals and building new environments is costly. Jim's work as a building contractor helps keep the money coming in. Ticket receipts certainly help. But to some degree, Jim and Sherry look at the family zoo as a work of faith, especially since the zoo is closed on Sunday, potentially the most profitable day of the week.
I definitely think it'd be, you know, Saturday is our biggest day of the week, and Sunday would be a very big day for us. But I think the Lord compensates. You know, there's plenty of times when we've wondered how we're going to pay these big bills that we have, and no money to pay them with, but somehow we don't understand looking at the numbers, but, you know, it's always worked out.
That's wonderful.
And we believe the Lord. You know, he said, if you follow him, he'll bless you, and he has.
That's wonderful.
Animals are fun to watch, learn about, and care for. Families are too. The Andlins seem to have found a way to make the most of both.
Man, you look really good on that camel.
Well, it didn't spit on me, so, you know, I was
You're
happy.
lucky, aren't you? Well, much